Despite being the most recognized and critically acclaimed episodes of the entire series, most people don't seem to realize how much of an opposite Silence and the Hurt Man truly is. Silence is especially praised for creating a coherent narrative story in the perspective of the victim for once, making us feel devastated for this complete stranger and giving the most honor and respect to the victim. Which to that I say, are you fucking kidding me? Whether or not the relationship here is fictionalized, we're still looking at a very private part of a stranger's life that we don't have the right to know. Imagine you surviving or your family members dying from a serial killer. And then years later, you see your own house, your own face, and your own flesh and blood in a high-grossing Netflix series. Unpopular opinion, none of Jeff Dahmer's victims should have ever been famous. They shouldn't be famous because they're not supposed to be dead. The only reason why you know who Tony Hugh or Conrax Sintansomphoon is sad and depressing, and now that that's our reality, we shouldn't treat these people like public characters. Where if anything, telling the story of their personal private life is the respectful and honorable thing to do. Definitely memorialize these people, but their name doesn't deserve any more infamy. In contrast, none of the personal detail from the hurt men are ones that isn't already mentioned publicly in court. They're able to properly flesh out these characters without breaking real-life personal boundaries. Some parts of the dialogues are even lifted straight from the real speech that Erik Menendez did. It is no coincidence that this episode shared so much similarity with the aforementioned No Man of God, even down to the weakness, which is that they both feels like a great analysis of real life rather than their own complete stories. As well written and emotionally impactful as Silence is compared to this episode, they're still only succeeding at the wrong thing, which is at invading the victim's privacy. And this episode ended up being the more respectful one by being the only episode in the entire series that isn't trying too hard to have a
fucking point of view.